Your performance on the Manningcast, what would you give yourself there?
I don't know. I did my job. It's not really my show, Just went on there, got to talk to two Hall of Fame quarterbacks, two legends, two of the best ever to play the game, and it was really cool. It was really fun for me.
Played it all pretty cool, but was it surreal at all hearing Peyton Manning tell you that his son wears your name on the back of his Little League jersey?
Yeah, I mean we had talked about that a while ago, and honestly, going live it's kind of nerve-wracking. So I wasn't just trying not to do anything stupid.
What can you put this into perspective? It's a surreal moment. It's a moment that happens in your life. But 4 or 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, when you're at Wyoming, just trying to make it as a college quarterback, to have thought this might be in the future.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I always thought I'd be in this position. Having that self-belief and that trust in yourself, thinking that you're going to be able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Now, it took a long time and a lot of work to get here, but I mean, I didn't think anything else.
Yeah.
Where does that belief come from?
I think it's just kind of how I was raised. Just playing where I played, growing up where I grew up. Just very internally motivated. I've said that over and over again, but couldn't pinpoint it to one certain thing.
What were your teammates' opinions about your appearance on the Manningcast?
Davis was happy. I gave him a little shout out. Nice mustache. And he played with Eli, so just trying to have something common to talk about, A couple guys said I was boring, but that's fine with me, Micah Hyde, but he's a hater, so it's all good.
Along the lines of thinking that you were always going to be here, did you always think that you'd have your own cereal? And how often do you actually eat Josh's Jags?
I'm not a huge breakfast guy, but when I do eat breakfast, that's typically what I would do at home. I'm a big cereal guy, but no, too along those lines. It didn't. That and when I was younger didn't come into my mind as having a cereal and hot sauce and having the success with Oshai Children's Hospital that we're having. Those are goodies that come along with it, and that stuff's been pretty exciting. Especially working with the hospital and Joshua Jackson, the hot sauce, and the miniature Fisher Price people. Like, the proceeds go to the hospital. That's something I'm super proud about.
What do you actually think about the cereal? Like, what do you actually think about the cereal? I'm assuming
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously I wanted to do. I think it's like Fruity Fruit Loops, but no, Flutie Flakes. Flutie Flakes. I wanted the Joshua Jacks, like the alliteration there. But again, I grew up eating Apple Jacks all the time, and to kind of play off of that and have it red and blue, that's cool.
You've been capable of compartmentalizing, this fun stuff. It seems to just flow off you, like water off a duck's back in some ways. And you're able to stay focused on football while also having these other things. How does this come naturally to you? This newfound fame, like elevation of fame in some ways, to be on a Manningcast.
Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't happen if you're not playing well. So, again, you got to keep the most important thing, and that's performing on the field and being the best teammate and the best quarterback that I can be for the Buffalo Bills. And, I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. And, typically when you have that type of thought process and you work hard, things usually fall into place.
Take us inside the backstage there. So you come out in the third quarter. Has there been communication leading up to like what they're going to ask you, or is it all spontaneous?
It's all spontaneous. No idea what they're going to talk about at all. So yeah, again, and it's live. So knowing that, your heart's racing a little bit, and again, you just don't want to do the wrong thing, say the wrong thing. You don't want to come off and sound dumb. And again, I felt like I did my job. Just go in there and answer some questions. It's not my job to comment on the game or call play-by-play. So just there and talking with two guys that, again, I grew up watching and idolizing, and they're greats in their own perspective, and it was really fun for me.
The
Do you try to like warm up your voice? Do you do anything to get ready to?
No, my voice is a little gone right now. I don't know why. But yeah, it's just trying to be as calm as possible and just try to answer the questions that they were given.
Defensive backs jumped into one of the drills down there. The net did not go well for them.
No.
It looks easy, but apparently it's not, right?
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks, and they want to give us a hard time every time we make it. We're like, good ball, we're telling each other good job, and they want to sit back there and just say good ball to everything, and we're just like, okay, well, step up and show us what you got. And I think everybody missed the net except for Poyer? Levi, maybe? Yeah, Levi's the only one that actually hit the net. Not made it one of the nets, but actually hit the net. So everybody else missed it. So they can talk all they want.
On a consistent basis, which one do you think would be more likely to be a quarterback level, kind of at least trying to hit the pocket?
Ooh. I think Poyer. He's pretty athletic. Obviously, the baseball background, I think that would help. So if he did it consistently, I think he'd get there.
And Josh Allen of the Jaguars.
So we've never actually met in person. We've messaged on Twitter and Instagram. Obviously, we follow each other. And just first round, 7th pick, 2 years in a row, Josh Allen's the pick. So that was pretty cool. So we've shared, just exchanged messages, just common name and draft pick. And big fan of his. He's a great player. I know he's coming into his own right now. And, we got to be prepared for him because he can ruin a game plan. And that's why he was drafted so high, and he's playing at a really high level right now.
You guys talked about facing each other this week?
No, we haven't, but I've talked with Andrew Wingard, the safety there. We were playing at Wyoming together. It's one of my good buddies, so I'm excited to see him.
Told us when we met with him that when you're emotional, whether you're fired up or frustrated or whatever, sometimes it's, I don't want to say anything to him. That's who Josh is, and I need to let him be Josh kind of, but is that the delicate touch that Brian has with you, that of being a leader and knowing when to maybe talk to you and when not to talk to you, and how all that balance has to be?
Yeah, and Dave's has been around the league long enough to know how to handle certain situations, and he does a good job of letting me be me and dialing up some plays for us, trying to get me into a rhythm. And everybody knows the rapport that we have is really good, and it's only going to get better as the season goes on.
How much do you not want to meet Josh Allen on the field?
I don't. I'd like to talk to him before and after the game, and I don't want to talk to him, in between the lines, as long as he's staying off of me. But, again, we got to be prepared for him and their defense as a whole. And I know the record doesn't show it, but, again, it's a week-to-week league, and those guys get paid on that side of the football too, and they're hungry for a win. And typically, again, when teams lose the way they did last week, they come out ready to go. And, we don't expect anything less. So we got to be ready for whatever, going on the road into – a hostile environment. Playing on the road is never easy. So, yeah, we got to be ready.
Josh, with Jake Fromm going on the COVID list, is there any level of concern in terms of, maybe contact that you've had with him, given that you guys are, obviously in the same meeting room?
No, I think we're good on that. In the meeting rooms especially, we're socially distanced and making sure we're staying apart from each other. So, no concerns.
Josh, you talked about being a week-to-week league. Last week, Cole said that Miami game wasn't a game you want to play, but need to and kind of learn from it. Struggling in the first half, did you learn? What can you take away from a game like that as you go to play some more teams like Miami?
Well, they had a good game plan. It's something that we maybe didn't expect. But now we know if we kind of get into that situation again, what play calls we like, what checks we like. Really just trying to make it a completion game and force them to tackle guys on the outside. Because, again, when you bring that much pressure, if you want to do that and your guys miss tackles on the outside, it's not going to be a great day. So, again, just finding ways to get them out of doing that. But, again, they're challenging situations. But like Cole said, having that now experience with that, we can use that going forward.
Being about halfway through the season now, what would you say is the offensive identity of the team?
I think our identity is just a team that's willing to do whatever it takes to win a football game. If that's 30 times passing, 30 times running, whatever it is, we got guys that are more than willing to go in there and do their job. Receivers that are going in there and getting their noses dirty and blocking linebackers, and running backs that are okay stepping up and blocking a linebacker, a safety blitzing, and guys that, like I said, just care about each other and are willing to do whatever it takes.
Obviously, John Feliciano, don't know how long he's going to be out for. When Cody got, benched basically a couple weeks ago, how did you see him handle that? And if it is the case where he's called out again, what did you tell him in that moment? What do you expect from him if he gets back in?
No, I mean, he's handled it like a pro. Sorry, my voice is going out. He's handled it like a pro, and every day he's just put his head down. He's worked. He's never complained. And he's got an opportunity here, and whether whoever's going on Friday or Sunday, the best five's got to go out there and try to perform and execute a game plan, and we've got supreme faith in the guys that we put out there.
Is it validation with the group that you guys have that there weren't any moves made with the trade deadline, and obviously the front office believes in the players that are here?
Yeah, absolutely. It is what it is as far as trades and all that stuff goes, but we got guys that can play. We know that. They know that. And we got to go out there and execute. And it starts with me making sure we're in good positions and situations. We're not in third and long where guys can go pin their ears back and just go try and get the quarterback. So making sure that we're staying on task, moving the chains on first and second down, trying to skip some third and longs, and helping them out that way.
Josh, what is the level of confidence? How much does your level of confidence, this team's level of confidence grow in Tyler Bass? Given just, he could have hit that one from 67 yards. It seemed.
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievable. He works extremely hard. He's a guy that we can count on. And again, he's got a lot of confidence in himself. And when you got a kicker that has confidence in himself, everybody can feel it, everybody can see it, and he's, guys can tell. He's got it.
How do you tell?
You can just feel it.
Like the way he walks, the way he talks, how he holds himself, press conferences, and then how he kicks. You see it.
Josh, what do you say to a guy like Trevor Lawrence that is in a spot where you were a few years ago about how to get from there to where you are now?
Yeah, I've thrown with Trevor a few times in the offseason. He's a great kid. He's a great talent. Obviously when you're drafted that high, those teams are picking there for a reason, and you just got to learn to grow with the bumps and bruises that come along with it. But it's only going to make you a better quarterback in the long run, and having that type of experience is going to pay off.
Josh, some injuries up front right now. There's a chance Cody Ford could get back up in the lineup. Where's his confidence, do you think, right now, and where's your confidence in him?
No, he's ready to go if need be. We're confident in him. There's going to be no limitations to what we do, or we're not going to change anything. He knows that, and he's got to go out there and help us win a football game. But again, like I alluded to earlier, helping our guys up front. They got a good front, on defense, and making sure we're productive on first and second down, and like I said, skipping some third and longs, and allowing our team really to be two-dimensional on the offensive side of the ball.
I know you can only give so much on this and get too deep, but can you take us into a little bit of when things change and like you go for the second half and Cole's catching passes on every drive? Is that more of a Ryan says, I think these things will work, and Cole's going to be open, or is that more of we're going to go to this personnel formation and Josh, pick out the right guy? You know what I mean? Like, where is the difference in that?
Yeah, I mean, it's game plan specific sometimes. It's personnel matchups, and then ultimately it's trust. And I trust Cole implicitly. He sees the field as well as anybody, and he makes decisive decisions where I can get him the football. But again, it's all. Sometimes it's who's got the hot hand that day. Who are we going to? Let's keep riding it. And it was his time on Sunday, and who knows what's going to happen on this Sunday.